Court reserves judgment in Kano governorship election appeal. More than a dozen farmers gruesomely murdered by Boko Haram insurgents in Borno. Army averts suicide attempt at Lagos Lagoon. On the foreign scene, global aid agencies demand Gaza ceasefire as Israeli hits Gaza shelters. These are the headlines on Trust TV News Update at this hour. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thanks for joining. And now the details. The Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja has reserved judgment in the appeal by the Kano State Governor Abu Abba Yusuf challenging his removal by the Governorship Election Petitions Tribunal. The tribunal had on September 20 nullified Yusuf's election by declaring 165,663 of his votes invalid. The tribunal held that the ballot papers were neither signed nor stamped by the Independent National Electoral Commission. Consequently, it declared the All Progressives Congress candidate Nasiru Gawuna winner of the governorship election. In a similar vein, the Court of Appeal in Abuja has sacked Musa Ilyasu Kwankwaso of the All Progressives Congress and reinstated Yusuf Umar Datti of the New Nigeria People's Party in the Kura Madobi Garum Malam Federal Constituency election. Now, the three panel led by Justice Tunde Oyebanji Awotoe allowed an appeal by Yusuf Datti and averred that the tribunal erred in counting the date of the applicant's resignation on the date of his party's primary election and that Section 77 of the Electoral Act was misapplied, saying that no court has jurisdiction on the issue of membership of the party. Meanwhile, the suspended INEC resident electoral commissioner in Adamawa State, Hudu Yunusa Ari, has failed to appear at the State High Court in Yola for arraignment. Justice Benjamin Manji of the State High Court in Yola thereafter ordered INEC to produce him in court during its next sitting on November 23, 2023. This follows the failure of the police to serve the hearing notice to Yunusa Ari. According to the prosecution counsel to INEC, the police made several attempts to serve him the hearing notice by visiting his home without success. The defendant's surety also could not be traced. The presiding judge, Benjamin Manji, however, queried why the police, which granted Hudu Ari bail through a surety, could neither get the defendant nor the surety. He therefore granted the prosecution counsel's request of 2 weeks for the defendant to appear before the court. The suspended Rec Yunusa Ari is facing a 6-count charge in connection with infractions during the 2023 governorship election in Adamawa State. On security matters now, at least 12 farmers have been killed and several others are reportedly missing after an attack by suspected Boko Haram insurgents on rice farmers in Mafa local government area of Borno State on Sunday. It was gathered that the insurgents stormed rice fields and round up the farmers while harvesting their farm produce in Karakut and Koshebe general area in Mafa local government area, slaughtering them with knives. According to Civilian Joint Task Force, 13 dead bodies have been recovered and a search of missing person still ongoing. A top security source said that the terrorists on motorcycles split into 3 groups before attacking the farmers. In another tragic incident, suspected Boko Haram insurgents have shot and killed a businessman based in Maiduguri on his farmland in Bama local government area of Borno State. The incident reportedly happened on the victim's farm where 4 workers were also abducted. The gunmen invaded the farm, rounded up the workers and attempted to kidnap the businessman. Eyewitnesses say that there was a struggle between the victim and the insurgents before he was eventually shot dead. Earlier, we spoke to Daily Trust reporter in Maiduguri Olatunji Omiri on the latest incident.
I think in the recent time, attack on a farmer has becoming something that occurring almost every day. I reported yesterday that there was an attack in Bama local government where a businessman was killed and 4 others were abducted. And last night also, some farmers from Subsidy actually went to their farmland in Mafa local government area of the state, and they were run up while trying to access their farm produce, and more than a dozen of them were killed. In fact, I just spoke to one of the farmer, leader of the farmer in Subsidy a minute ago. I was told that 10 cops have already been brought, and they went to pick another 3 while searching for missing and those that were kidnapped are still ongoing, both by security agency and civilian JTF. Yes, if you look at, if you follow the trends over the years, these are doing their tactics, and they have been using this. They will not stop the farmer from planting the crops, but when it comes to harvest time, that is where we usually have. If you check last year, it's the same thing. We check they will behead a farmer, they will kill farmers, and they will actually went away with their farm produce. They have been doing this thing every year. It's not that maybe the number of the attack in the state particularly has not been kind of on alarming rate, but attack on particularly on farmers in the last 2-3 weeks has been increased, and that's what we are witnessing. But it has been occurring every year. So during the peak of harvest season, there are usually attacks on farmers. The security agencies, the military, the police, the civilian JTF, the hunters, the vigilantes, the kishkis, they are really trying. They are trying their best, but don't forget that Borno State has a very fast land that is very, very fast. So for the security agencies to cover everywhere, I think it seems it's not possible. They cannot be everywhere at a time. So that is why the Boko Haram always take the advantage when they see that maybe some farmers, they don't have a kind of the Ango Ranger, because there is Ango Ranger that the Borno State government actually created specifically to protect farmers. And bear it in mind that the state government, the state government has been doing well in terms of supporting the security agencies, but they cannot be everywhere.
In the meantime, troops of Operation Hadarin Daji operating in Zamfara State have repelled an ambush by bandits, killing scores of the terrorists in the process. The troops also foiled the terrorist attack on Karazo village under Kwatarakwashi district of Bungudu local government area of Zamfara State in the early hours of Sunday. According to a statement by the spokesperson of the Operation Hadarin Daji, Captain Yahaya Ibrahim, the troops responded to a distress call about the large numbers of armed terrorists attacking Karazo village in Kwatarakwashi district. He said that the combat-ready troops who were resilient with tactical abilities and reinforcement cleared the ambush and forced the bandits to retreat, while several bandits have been neutralized. The Taraba state government has banned all forms of night journeys on waterways across the state. The ban is in response to the recent boat mishap in Bineri community of Karim Lamido local government area. The incident happened when a locally made boat loaded with over 80 passengers from Mayo Reneo market in Ardokola local government area heading towards Karim Lamido Council capsized in Binari village, leading to the loss of several lives. So far, 20 corpses have been recovered by the Marine Police in collaboration with local divers and fishermen residing in the area. The Deputy Governor Aminu Alkali on Sunday, during a visit to the community, declared the removal of all barricades on the waterways with immediate effect. The Commissioner for Special Duties and Social Development Xavier Noku says that the government will not condone overloading of boats or canoes on its waterways. The state government has also directed the use of life jackets for passengers to avert future incidents. Now, as a fallout of the removal of fuel subsidy and inflation in the country, there's an uneasy calm among residents of Makurdi who visit the markets. In spite of adjustments to living standards, many households are lamenting that they can no longer meet the minimum needs of life. Jimmy Azandi reports.
Prices of commodities, especially foodstuff, are on the steady rise. According to respondents, these prices increase almost on a daily basis.
If things are this high now, what would be the fate of Nigerians when it's December period? Oh, God, I cry. No, the price of dollar has increased. The removal of fuel subsidy has really affected everything, and the life is very miserable for the average Nigerian. Some of them go as far as not eating for a whole day. Some of them just eat in the morning and they don't eat again for the rest of the day.
The residents also said the government has no idea of the true situation masses of Nigeria are going through at the moment.
Next month, we know that it will get worse than this, and it's really tiring. A carton of Maggi used to be less than 13,000 naira. As of yesterday, we're getting the 50 pieces a pack for 14,500, which was not like this. And by next month, we know that this price will still go up because it's usually like this during the festive period, and it's draining. We don't know how to do it. If the government can only make it easy for us, we are trying.
In spite of the inflation and subsidy removal crisis, Makurdi residents are alleging that middlemen are taking advantages of inflation and subsidy removal to raise prices.
Transportation, before I go modern market, from here to modern market, 300 naira, but now they go there 500. So if I come back and with my expenses, things will go up small. I think because I'm done. That's subsidy way they remove, way they no plan now.
The authorities should, in a way, try to make sure that prices of things in the market, in a way, I don't really know how to do it. They don't have to do it directly. They have to go directly, maybe stabilizing some things. Yeah, then make those things accessible to students, accessible to the average Nigerians, those that don't have money to buy. You get, that's the only way we can make Nigeria a better place.
In Benue State, though reputed as a food basket of the nation, the recent price hike has left the masses in a state of uncertainty. Jimmy Azandi, Trust TV News, Makurdi.
Away from that, troops of the 81 Division of the Nigerian Army have prevented a lady from jumping into the Lagos Lagoon. This is according to a statement on Monday by the Acting Deputy Director of Army Public Relations, 81 Division, Olabisi Olalekan Ayeni. According to the statement, Nigerian Army soldiers operating under 81 Division prevented a suicide attempt by a woman who plunged into the Lagos Lagoon around 81 Division Officers Mess, Marina, Lagos, in an attempt to take her own life. The statement says that the family of the suicide attempt victim had been contacted as she has been reunited with her family. In the wake of the rescue, the General Officer commanding 81 Division, Major General Muhammad Usman, commended the effort of the soldiers for rescuing the lady. You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Coming up ahead. will tell a story of how an international market struggles to stay afloat in business. Details and more after the break.
It was never a consensus. We did all our best. You see, in politics, you give your contribution to the best of your ability.
If you want, I'll forward to you this statement. You go to this bank and verify.
But there are people who say not spending money is not a virtue.
I'm coming. Let me finish.
But there's so much to be done.
Let me finish. Now, you don't allow me to explain myself.
The recent development shows abductions are now a factor of informants embedded in community.
It's not about the people of Katsina to say that, no, during my administration I was able to stop insecurity. No, it's about collective responsibility for all of us.
And what we should ask ourselves is not what has been seen, is the life better? Are there more people who are unemployed who are not become employed? Is the level of corruption has gone down? Is there inclusion? All those issues.
We're actually a gas country with associated oil. Our focus has always been on oil, that we have never paid significant attention to gas.
To do it effectively, we need to have honest conversation with ourselves. Government needs to come down from its high horse and communicate with the people and build trust.
There must be a solution. We cannot continue this way. They must come back to the table and agree. So whose child will do deny education? All these children that sit for them, they want to go to higher institutions.
But just a short while ago you were saying that why bring 10 children when you cannot cater for them? So why bring more universities when you cannot cater for the existing?
Welcome back. You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Let's have a look at the top stories again. Court reserves judgment in Kano governorship election appeal. More than a dozen farmers gruesomely murdered by Boko Haram insurgents in Borno. Now, elsewhere, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency says it has recovered no less than 14 million pills of tramadol and bottles of codeine syrup worth over 13 billion naira in street value in Lagos State. This was disclosed in a statement signed by the Director of Media and Advocacy of the NDLEA, Femi Babafemi, on Sunday. He said that the operatives of the agency made the recovery in 3 major busts of drug cartels operating in Amuwo, Odofin, Idumota, and Sako Shed of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja, Lagos. The 3 intelligence-led operations, according to the NDLEA, began with the raid of House 810, Honorable Wahua Avenue, the Vine Estate of Amuo Odofi on Sunday, 29th of October, where 490,000 pills of tramadol and 81,519 bottles of codeine syrup measuring 4.5 million were recovered. Now, it added that in a similar operation on Tuesday, 31st October, NDLEA operatives swooped on a secret warehouse operated by a billionaire in Idumota, an Idumota trader, Nwaoha Anayo, located at Onitire Aguda area of Surulere, Lagos, where 12.7 million pills of tramadol were recovered. Meanwhile, the NDLEA operatives have arrested 3 blind men operating an illicit drug ring between Lagos and Kano, while another blind member of the syndicate is still at large. The Mariri Konut International Market in Kano is currently struggling to stay in business as traders close shop while others struggle to keep the market open. Supply chain issues and the current economic climate are some of the factors responsible for the international market's decline, despite high demands for kola nut, especially in northern Nigeria. Salim Umar visited the market for this report.
Goro, as it is often called in Hausa dialects, plays a significant role in many cultures, though it is very uncommon to witness any Hausa ceremony without loaves of Konut. This business, however, still exists. The market is now living in a shadow of itself.
A musamman wannan kasuwar tamu duk duniya babu irin ta inda kasuwar goro ce.
This market has been known for this business. People from different African countries come here for Konut business, and Konut has been our business in this area.
The Konut International Market relocated to Mariri from Kofar Nasarawa in 1977 for the purpose of expanding it to accommodate more traders. Although the climatic condition of the region is not favorable for the cultivation of Konut, the north, Kano in particular, is widely known for its distribution, not just within the country, but to other African countries, including Chad and Niger. The market is famous as the only entry point from where the product gets to end users. In the past, it is said that at least 5 truckloads of the product from Shagamu in Ogun State offload at Mariri International Konut Market on a daily basis, thereby creating an opportunity for the teeming unemployed youth to earn a living. But now, it's hard to see a truck daily.
I've been into this business for the past 40 years, but the market is going down now due to the economic crisis in the country.
It was a beehive of activities as young men and adults struggled to eke out a living. While some are full-time dealers on the product, others earn their living by loading and offloading the product. It was gathered that about 3,000 unemployed youth from Kano and neighboring states, including Jigawa, Katsina, and Kaduna, used to source their daily bread through menial jobs in the market. The story is absolutely different today, as the market looks scanty and less busy.
The high cost of living has also affected our business. Before now, we don't sell on credit, but with the situation of things in the country, most of us sell our goods on credit to make ends meet. There have been a lot of setback in this business.
While the business is dwindling and struggling to survive various challenges, the businessman said the economic situation in the country is greatly contributing to the declining pace, urging authorities concerned to come to their aid. Salim Umar, Trust TV News, Kano.
On the foreign scene, as heavy bombardment continues through the night across Gaza, 18 UN and other humanitarian organizations issue a statement calling for an immediate humanitarian ceasefire. At least 9,922 Palestinians have been killed in Israeli attacks on Gaza and the occupied West Bank since October 7, where more than 1,400 people have been killed in Hamas attacks. The party of Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas condemns Israel's barbaric war of extermination. The UN says that 88 staff killed in Gaza, the highest number of the UN fatalities ever recorded in a single conflict. Jordan says its Air Force parachuted urgent medical aid to the Jordanian field hospital in Gaza. The Gaza Strip has now been divided into two by the Israeli army. For people still stranded in the northern part, there are difficulties trying to evacuate. And in sports news, the Nigerian elite referee and FIFA badge Yemisi Akintoye has been selected for the 2023 African Women's Champions League taking place in Cote d'Ivoire from November 5 to November 19. The University of Lagos graduate Abita was one of the 17 referees shortlisted across Africa and one of the 12 selected after an intensive one-week pre-tournament course. A statement on the Confederation of the African Football on Monday confirmed Akintoye's participation alongside other referees at the 2023 African Women's Champions League. It's said that Akintoye will be officiating alongside Salma Musaganda of Rwanda, who was the first African woman referee to officiate at the Men's World Cup. The news agency of Nigeria reports that Akintoye was badged as a FIFA referee in 2021. She has been at a few international competitions, which include the WAFU Women Champions League, the Aisha Buhari Tournament, among others. And that wraps it up for the news update. You can watch more via all our social media platforms and also on our YouTube live stream. I am Ayuba Ila. Thanks for watching.